What is up, crazy people? I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend because this is probably the best weekend that I've ever had in a long time. So this weekend, this Saturday, I went to go to one of the biggest legit car shows hosted in Alabama, in Central Alabama, Magic City Octane. It's basically Alabama's version of Caffeine and Octane that they host in Atlanta. It's probably not as big, but it's pretty much the biggest legit car show you're going to get in Alabama, other than Import Alliance, and they hadn't done that in a long time. Definitely looking forward for that to come back. Anyway, Magic City Octane. This is a meet that's going to have like close to 300 cars. And it's going to have cars of different types, from tuners, beaters, muscle cars. You're going to get a lot of muscle cars, especially Mustangs, supercars, exotic cars, classics. Like pretty much most of the things you want, you can get. They even have a lot of bikes in the show too, and it was pretty crazy. So the first thing I did when I woke up around 6 o'clock in the morning to get ready. I washed the Miata. Like I did a deep wash with the Miata. I bought new hose as a new equipment just to wash it, just for this event. I even called off work for this event. That's how excited I was for it. Normally I work every day until Sunday, but I had to call off Saturday for this occasion. So I bought a new hose about 75 feet and a new nozzle that acts like a pressure washer. I did a deep clean on that car and washed everything. It took me about 40 minutes to wash it. That's how long it took. Dry, buffed it out with wax and all that. Got it ready. This is what it looked like after I got done. After I took a little selfie. So I ended up driving down there. It took about 30 minutes. And when you arrived at the place, the first thing you see was like five slammed Audis. Five slammed Audi R8s. Like that what if you normally in Alabama, if you see an Audi R8, it's pretty much just gonna be stock because it's most likely just some old man who's rich that's just driving it pretty much. But you don't really see them with wheels or suspension or anything like that. So I already knew it was a treat. This was going to be a treat once I drove in. Now, when I park, I normally try to park like next to a couple of Miatas if there's any to park by. And that's good, man. It was like five of them. Definitely not as much as the last Magic City Octane I went to. But it was about five of them. One ND, three NAs including mine, and an NC came about 5 minutes after I parked. And man, this show had everything. Just like what I mentioned before, it had a lot of stuff. The first thing I noticed was all the Ferraris that was there. There was a lot of Ferraris and there was a lot of Lamborghinis parked next to each other. The first one I saw pulling in was an 812 Superfast, a black one. I've only pretty much seen the newest Ferraris in red. I've never seen them in any other color. So to actually see one in black, that was actually a pretty good treat right there. So I go ahead and start looking at all the cars, and man, the first car that got my attention was a blue Subaru SVX. Like that was crazy. I was like, it's a huge coincidence too, because 2 weeks ago I actually found one for sale for $1,800. It had like 240,000 miles on it. I shared on Facebook saying I'm close to making bad decisions. And then the person who owns it, who was selling it, sent me a DM saying, "You want to make some bad decisions? I'll help you with that." But then he offered to sell it to me for $1,200. If I wasn't saving up money, if I wasn't saving up money to go get this car, and I'm probably about to get in a couple of weeks if everything goes well, I probably would have bought it then and there. So the SVX was the first car that caught my attention. And literally like 2 minutes later, after I get done looking at that car, I spot two cars that I'd never seen before. The first one was a Viper RT10. It looked like a 94. This one was like completely original. No roof, no door handles. It's just completely raw. Though the dashboard, they actually replaced it with like a snakeskin wrap on it, and that looked pretty cool. What was right next to the Viper though, that was what completely blew my mind. I never expected to see this car ever, especially not in Alabama. A BMW Z8. That is one of the rarest cars BMW has ever made, especially in the modern era. To actually see one of those, it was a true experience. And in general, this car show had a lot of cars that I would have never seen before. Like I actually went to World of Wheels about a month ago. That's this car show where they have a lot of classic cars, mostly classic muscle, but they have a lot of classic European cars too. Last year they had a BMW Isetta, a yellow one. But I never expected to ever see a BMW Z8 or any of the cars they've had here. One of the cars they had here, I didn't even know they actually sold in the United States. I thought they never sold them here. Someone actually brought an Alfa Romeo 8C. That's one of the rarest cars Alfa Romeo has ever made, really. This is a 250,000 plus $1,000 car. Like, you really don't see these cars just driving on the streets. There's a whole bunch of crazy cars. They had Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera LP 570. They had a Lamborghini Aventador LP 750-4 Super Veloce in lime green. There was so many Corvettes there. And there was one car I was surprised it was actually still running. It's actually my favorite Jaguar, the first generation Jaguar XKR with a supercharged V8. That was that was pretty crazy. The one car I was looking for in this show the most was a Barth 500, Fiat 500 Barth. I was able to find one, but as it turns out, it wasn't even someone that was actually involved in the car show. They just went to Panera Bread. They looked like. I want I want to get in touch with a couple of owners in Alabama and see what it's like to actually own one. After that meet, I just went ahead and drove all pretty much the meet pretty much ended at like 10:30. That was pretty much when all the interesting cars, all the exotics, and all the supercars started to leave. So I went ahead and tried to leave myself. But man, it took me like 20 minutes to leave. That's how bad the traffic was backed up. Like, I actually had to leave where I was trying to enter in. And then I had to go around to the back of the line just to try to get in and actually leave. So about 20 minutes, I finally left. And after that, I went to all the car dealerships around the Rich area, and went back to my old dealership that's there too. That place is completely changed. Changed management, a lot of new employees I've never seen before. Yeah, the place has pretty much changed. Oh well. And I've actually managed to actually see a car that I'm actually planning on getting at one of the dealerships. I'm not going to say where it is, but if you guys know me in real life, if you guys been watching this channel for a long time, you know what kind of cars I've been looking at, what cars I wanted the most. So to actually be close to actually getting this one is $11,000. It's got a 5-speed manual, and pretty much it's impossible to get these cars unless you go to Carvana to get them. And that's pretty much the only hit I'm going to give you. If everything goes well, I'm probably going to have the car either this week or next week. Because as soon as they call me and tell me that that car is ready, they did the inspection and everything, certified pre-owned, I'm gonna go ahead and get it like right then if I can. Well, I hope you guys have had as good as a weekend as I did. I hadn't really made a video like this in a long time, just me talking to the audience. I heard a couple of people actually liked it. But if you can see more videos like this, I will be happy to provide. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below if you want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you guys next week.